All right, let's test out this paper right here. Actually, it's called foil board. I just got it. I don't know anything about it, except that it's a highly reflective, almost mirrored surface paper. I don't know. I hesitate to call it paper or anything else. I mean, they call it foil board, so I guess we'll just refer to it as a board. This is by Gift Boutique. 60 count metallic gold sheets, but on the description on Amazon they called it foil board. So let's take a look at it here. Now, I would never stamp on something like this before, but with some recent tests on Star Dream paper, a very reflective, metallic, non-porous surface right here, with the Brilliance inks, I thought that worked pretty good. So I thought, well, I don't know, it got into me that the notion that I really enjoy working on, I don't know, maybe less conventional types of surfaces, and I wasn't too much into kind of a glittery types of, real visually powerful surfaces, okay? Like metallics and stuff like that. But I guess I am, because I really love that type of paper. From a matting standpoint, I think about it in terms of using it as a mat. I think it's really a kind of a powerful surface to do that with, or mounting, matting, whatever. But stamping on it has been really fun. Being that Brilliance inks seem to do pretty well on this type of surface. Okay, now, let's see here. Let's do this scene right here, and let's just replicate it on this, or try to, okay? So now what we do on this is I'll just create a vanishing point somewhere here. I'm just putting it with a white pen just so I have a reference point. You don't have to go exactly with, an exact point like that, but it really makes it a lot easier. And I just aim my trees at it. I'm going to do the dominant tree in this one right here, the larger one. I mean, these are going kind of parallel like that, so I'll just use this dominant one right here, the larger one, and we'll see how it goes. Now, I have two Brilliance inks right here, gold. One of them's, I don't know, I hesitate to call it new, because they're both probably, 15, 16, 17 years old. Hard to believe. But one of them is kind of like super watery and juicy, and the other one's kind of dry. This one's kind of golder, and this one's kind of a darker gold for some reason. I don't know why. I mean, you can even see it visually here. But let's see if these kind of make their mark, and it does. Look at that. Okay. So the way that I'm combining this, I'm just going like that. I mean, you can kind of see it right there. See how watery that is? It doesn't look good at all to me. But when I just use the other, now see, that looks much flatter to me. So I don't know, a combination of both of them. I mean, if you have a newer pad, chances are you're not going to have to do that. But I don't know. Oh, this is so juicy right here. I just smeared it right there. Okay. It's not too bad. It's not great. This is pigment ink, so it's going to be a little bit slick, and of course this is like I don't know, it's like stamping on chrome or something. Okay, always just kind of aiming right towards that star. Or, I don't know, vanishing point. It's not really a star. I could make it a star. This paper here, these 60 sheets at about between $16 and $17. It was like 16 something. 60 sheets, 8.5 by 11. That's not really too bad, in my opinion. 60 full-size sheets. I mean, that's 60 divided by, or times 4, 240 cards of a metallic nature. Not too bad. And like I said, I just got it on Amazon. I mean, there's tons of these types of surfaces like here. It came up because I was looking for Star Dream. I don't know. Yeah, just the search, I don't know, whatever parameters suggested, this as well. Now, I'm not going to test this yet because I just stamped them, but Brilliance ink, again, it's designed to be used on conventional cardstocks, absorbent ones, but it's also supposed to dry on non-porous as well. So, anyways, that looks kind of interesting, I think. Could you do it in silver, I guess? I don't have a lot of different Brilliance inks, so I'm not a good person to ask about kind of combinations of media and different colors with this. Like, say, what would it look like in a kind of a Brilliance green or something like that on that? Could be interesting, I don't know. Or red, something like that for your kind of holiday color schemes. I think the gold looks pretty interesting though. Okay, so when we stamp it out, we can see that it makes it less mirrored-like for sure, right? Because you have that pigment ink over the top of it. Let's go on with some of the white ink here and give that a test here. Okay, still aiming the trees towards that same vanishing point. Let's see. I'm going to leave room for a quote stamp as well. And like I said, I'm just eyeballing it. You don't have to, take a ruler or something like that. The white looks amazing on that right there. I think the white stamps, I don't know. I don't know, it might stamp even better on this than it did on the Star Dream. I don't know, I gotta think that this is less porous than the Star Dream, but that impression looks so crisp and beautiful to me. I mean, look at that. I mean, that really stamps opaque over that spruce tree. All right, so far so good. You never know how these things are going to come out. When you get new media or combinations of media, chances are, I bet a lot of you have this type of stuff in your supplies. It's just a matter of, playing around with some things and testing it out. You don't have to go into it with the idea that, you're going to come out with some kind of amazing finished piece, but and kind of in the spirit of kind of exploration, just go into it and, test it out, see how it is. A lot of people ask, for opinions, and they say, will this work with this? You know what I mean? Or they have it, and sometimes, they want other people to just, confirm or whatever, or suggest, but I suggest, just getting into it and just playing around with things. Test it out yourself. Just know the general kind of principles, or characteristics, I should say, not principles, characteristics of the inks that you're using. So Brilliance is known to dry on non-porous surfaces. So you can use it on your conventional surfaces, but, try it out on some other types of things like that. I think that looks pretty awesome. Okay, now let's try this too. Okay, so I went with 2 different layers here, just like I did on this one. I just went with gold, and I stamped the white over the top of that. But let's just take this a step further, and let's see if we can sandwich some of those white leafless tree impressions in between a gold one. Okay, I mean, we can go with a different type of tree too, but we'll just use the 2 here for now. Okay, I don't think I'll do too much of this because I don't want to make it look too busy, and I just want this to be kind of a general, kind of first test type of application here. Let's go down here. Let's just do it real small again, kind of pointing that right towards that little dot there. And if you're a little off, it doesn't matter, but it's always good to have that dot. If you're kind of within like a dime or quarter vicinity, you know, angle-wise, you're going to be fine. Okay, so here's that one there. Okay, that was the gold one. I think the white, I didn't overlap the white one enough right here with this one. But I think the white almost looks like it's still in front of the gold. Isn't it interesting? So, okay, let me do it. Just do a little test here. Okay, the gold is still a little bit wet. I think we're going to have to let this one set up now. On the Star Dream, it was still a little bit moist too, but you can see this right now. I mean, it's, you know, it's perfectly dry. And this is, I can tell this one right here. I mean, it's not as wet as when I first stamped it. So I'd imagine this is drying by evaporation. Some of them have to dry by kind of absorption and evaporation, but this is one that dries both ways, I guess. Or it can dry both, you know. Or either. I don't know. It should dry, though, okay? Okay, let's see here. Let's just go with what quote? Let's use a different quote than last time. What about the sky is the daily bread of the eyes? Nah, because this is more trees. This one's line your back and look at the stars. Starlight, star bright, first star I see. When it's darkest, we see the stars. I should have thought about this before I did this. Let's just do this one. This one's perfect for this scene. Lie on your back and look at the stars. I guess, yeah, let's just do the exact same scene as the previous one. And then we can compare, contrast, okay? It's a good thing to do, too, sometimes, you know? That's what I recommend to people. People that are kind of getting into stamping, scenic stamping, they're doing different scenes every time they do a scene. But after they do a few and they get really, you know, a person can go from a beginner to advanced, like, in a week. Sometimes it takes even less for some people. I'll see them doing kind of their tiptoeing thing. And then, I don't know, in their fifth scene, it looks like they've been stamping, scenic stamping for 10 years. And like I always tell people, it's an easy process, but you have to kind of just leave some of the, your habits that you've done with other types of stamping behind, like, you know, super careful masking and placement of stamps. You know, scenic stamping, you're overlapping things a lot. And you're not doing masking, you know, like, at least careful masking most of the time. Some types of scenes you have to do, and, you know, a decent amount of stamping, but you're still overlapping the majority of your imagery because you want everything to look nice and seamless. Okay, so that was the white right there again. I think that looks darn, I don't know, good or interesting or whatnot, okay? I'm really curious to look at some splatter painting. If you watch my videos, you know I love splatter painting with the Dr. Martin's Bleed Proof White. But on here, I don't like splattering over my text like that. You know, there could be a bunch of little dots all within there, and I don't want it to look like, you know, like a dot above an eye or something like that. So that being said, easy enough to go in with your paint pens like this. This is the gold pen that I just got. I haven't even used it before. Okay. And you need to really shake up your paint pens every time you use them. Unless you use it like twice in a day, then maybe you don't have to shake it up the second time. But if you've gone like 2 or 3 days even, you really need to shake it up so it gives you the most opacity per mark. That being said, I mean, you know, too, if you're kind of an experienced stamper and you really know your pens and you don't want a really bright looking white dot, okay, Then you just shake it up less so it's a little bit more watery and translucent. So when you stamp it down, the background shows right through it, okay? I mean, there's all kinds of little things you can do. Maybe I can shake this up a little bit and I get lighter color stars with the gold shining through it a little bit more. Then you shake it up more and then you get this more opaque